who's traveled the world, and not just physically, his music as well. This song that you just heard, by the way, blew up in a matter of 1 month. He was just telling me he had 150 listeners on Spotify.
150,000 now,
150,000. Now, from 150,000 going all the way to 500,000, that's big. That's a big deal.
And
how
the song
exactly did that happen?
I mean, the song right now has gone to #1 on Beatport, on
That's
Afro
amazing.
House, and it's like 1 million streams within a short period of a time.
Wow.
Like it surprised both of us. We didn't know what we're just doing, collaborating. You know, with the music. Sometimes you do something, and all of a sudden, it takes a different direction.
It's actually similar to, I think, what has happened to the song Waki.
Oh yeah,
all of
I love that song.
Yeah, right. And it's crazy because it was one day of release, just the first day, and the next day, you know, everybody from around the world is listening to it. And I feel like that's exactly what has happened to Gora. What language is Gora, by the way? The song, the language you speak.
So Gora, there's Arabic in it.
Okay.
So the when it's Zayak when it's beginning, when you have the long extension. It's Zayakun. That one, that's in Arabic. And then Gora, which is also in Nuer language. It's a Nas language in South Sudan. It's one of the tribes there. And so, and what the song actually means is asking somebody, I want to know how you're doing in this challenging time. How are you? How are you coping in this time? It's not like the old school time where people have time, people can really ask and find out how you are. So that's how the song is all about.
Amazing. You know, Emmanuel, you mentioned something that I think it's only fair that we ask you about, and that is your upbringing, your early days. You come from South Sudan, and of course we all know that your life started off as a child soldier during war, and then after that you went on to become, you know, the sensation. So how exactly have you managed to transition from back in the days of, you know, trial and tribulation, to actually becoming this person who's an activist, you're a philanthropist, you're actually helping people, you're raising funds for different charities. So how has that journey been for you?
Well, I mean, the journey, if I'm going to talk like a normal human being, the journey was tough. It wasn't easy. You know, you're born in a war-torn country, and everything, the soul of your village taken away from you. So my mother was claimed by that war. You know, all my aunties that I was connected to died during the war.
And how old were you then?
By that time, at different stages. So I was born in 1980s. So war broke up when I was 3. By the time I was 7, my father told me I'm going to go to school in Ethiopia. And actually going to Ethiopia, that's where I got trained to become a child soldier.
Wow.
And so, and it was a tough life. Imagine eating 1 meal a day, or other days there's no food. And I could say the lowest point I've ever been as a human being, what I say the lowest is when we were drinking our own urine for survival. And when my friend was dying and I look at him, and I told him, I'm going to eat you tomorrow. So being in a situation like that where your senses change, we're gone for days and we're starving. So when I have those memories, those are the dark memories. So luckily I survived, ended up in a place called Wurt, and a British aid worker called Emma McCune smuggled me to Kenya.
Okay.
And when she came to Kenya, she died. Then my life went again. So I'm kind of like used with life now. It's all about a way of going up, way of going down, way of going up. And that's when I started taking music. And I didn't know where it was going to take me.
Yeah.
And now it gave me international attention.
What a story. Honestly, you know, kudos to you. And I feel like your story is one that needs to be told over and over again. And I'm glad that you're actually telling it through books. You're writing books. You already have one released in the past, if I'm not wrong. It's an autobiography?
Yeah, so I had one called War Child.
Yeah.
And My Life is Art is a different one now. So the book right now is just showing people steps on how they can manage their life, how you can rewire your brain.
And you have one that's actually releasing. It's coming out very soon on the 5th of December.
Yes, so I'm actually traveling to UK for its release in London and Oxford.
That's amazing. And what is this one about?
So this one is about a person recognizing their life as a work of art that they create. So now you can design what life you want to be.
It's beautiful.
And living that work of art for other people to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually very inspired because, you know, I think for someone like you who has managed to see life in the toughest of times and then come out as a real life soldier, a winner. You've actually come out and you've done big things, not just for, I feel, yourself, but also for children in South Sudan. You're always supporting people back home. You're supporting kids who are going through tough times, and you do so with different charities. So just recently in Kenya, you performed, and of course you had a concert, and whatever money was being raised at the concert was going to a charity. So tell me more about that.
So there's a charity called NIDO, founded by Henry.
Yes.
A businessman who's also based in Canada, whose business is so successful, has a turnover of $40 million a year. He provide workers, like for example, nurses that want to work abroad.
Yeah.
He facilitate for them to get jobs in Canada or Europe,
right,
and also in the Middle East. And so he formed this organization called NIDO, where when his companies are profitable, he invests in them. So I went and discovered the work, and I was amazed by the impact he's creating, where there are schools, where kids come to that school, all the school fees paid for by, by his company. And then wildlife, taking care of wildlife, negotiating with the people who kill animals and the hunters and showing them, look, if I take your children to school, don't kill the animals.
Wow.
So like, it's amazing. It's underrated work that he's doing.
Yeah.
And so we decided to do a fundraiser for his organization here. So
that's amazing.
At Alain Francais, and I performed, hosted by my charity Gua Africa. And so, which went well. On a Wednesday, Kenyan turning up on a Wednesday.
What did you expect? This is Nairobi. Nairobi never sleeps.
That was amazing, yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way until Sunday. If you are having a concert, especially someone like, you know, Emmanuel Jal, it's a name, you're a brand. People will show up regardless to show you love. So it's amazing. We'll talk about more, we'll talk more about the charity and, of course, the work that he's doing later on. But yeah, let's just get back into these little things that you've experienced in your life that have made you who you are. So you said that you started music. When was it the first time that you actually went viral? When a song of yours actually garnered a lot of success, people were listening to it, were recognizing your work? When did that happen for you?
I had a song called Gua, was played in the radio. And there was a man called Philip Maniki who wrote an article on me on Nation FM.
Okay.
On Nation.
And when was this? What year was this?
That was around 2000, 2003, 2004.
Wow.
The New York Times pick it up.
Right.
And then those DJ Moors who used to play my songs in Kubamba. And like, so Kenyan had no idea where I'm from, but they just loved the music.
Yeah.
And that song gave me international attention.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and since then you've just... Actually, that song was also Afro House, right?
It was like, because the style I use is, I started bringing village into hip-hop. So that's the style I was using.
Okay, okay.
So the song that became Afro House was one called Kwar.
Yes.
Because of the beat. It
I
makes
actually heard it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of house music, and your house songs are always such a vibe. Like you get good energy because it's like a mix of traditional and modern put together.
Yeah.
So the sounds, the beats, the instruments, the musicality is great.
Yeah, so basically it's bringing the village into the track, and sometimes the tempos happen to collide. So
yes,
for example,
they do.
You can take a Maasai sound.
Yeah.
And then you put those tune into it and you get a nice house track that takes you like that, That's what I love about Afro House.
Yeah. And now the fact that Gora has literally blown up just goes to show that you need to be doing a lot more house music.
I mean, the house scene has been the most successful in terms of business sense as an artist.
Yes.
But I never gave it attention until this year.
And now you're like, okay.
So I said, look, this place is paying me, but I'm not giving it attention. Because sometimes, as an artist, you're stuck in this one place, you're passionate.
Because you're passionate about it.
Then the universe tells you, no, I want you to go back. But I just want to go forward, take back. So the house scene is really good.
That's amazing. I'm so glad to hear that. Did you know that Gora has actually been played at most of the clubs in Kenya, even before, I mean, I did know about your name, but obviously I did not know of the song Gora. I didn't know it was yours. And then I went to a club and I heard the song and I was loving it. And then I Shazammed it. I looked it up the same moment and I saw your name and I'm like, I know this guy. So, you know, it's so amazing how music connects people, how music has connected you to the Kenyan audience, to the international audience, and just in a span of 1 month, look at what you've done.
It's amazing how especially if a big gift, there's a guy called DJ Francis,
Okay.
who was the man behind Night Freaks. So Night Freaks just discovered my songs through different people they're talking to, and then one day just found Hey Mama, which was remixed by a South African producer.
Right.
And he said, I want to work with this guy. And then they contacted me, they sent me the track, and I listened. Oh, so what kind of thing do I have to put here?
Yeah.
And then that's how it works. The magic just happened.
The magic definitely has happened. Emmanuel, you know, you have been having a very successful year, and 2024 is just around the corner. Happy December, by the way. Next year, what can we expect from you? What can your fans get from you? More concerts, more performances, more music?
Well, there's a bunch of stuff I want apart from the charity stuff. So I have a business I've set up in Kenyatta Market.
Okay.
So a health food business. Those who want to take care of themselves and eat healthy, they can go there. Superfood they can have. But also in the artist part, I want to see how I can find artists that we can develop the same, bringing that international wisdom that I've gathered. How can we apply it to young artists and how they can take it forward? Yeah,
of course, empower the younger generation. And here in Kenya, we have so many talented artists. And I feel like, you know, empowering them could be very, very great for them, because at times they just don't know how to maneuver the way in the industry and how to break through into this industry of ours. So are you going to have some sort of academy, maybe train some little youngsters?
There's something we're going to do with Julian, who is still on behind the scene.
Okay.
I don't know if you know Julian is an artist.
Of course I do know him.
So we're going to collaborate on how we can find other artists and just use the wisdom we have. And apart from that, I'm just going to be coming to Kenya. It's my home. So this way everything starts for me. And I think another thing that a lot of Kenyans don't know, that they are in the house scenes. There's some Kenyan artists here, like Aziz, Eid Aziz.
Eid Aziz is incredible.
That he dominates the house scene, but Kenyan has no idea. Not in Kenya, globally.
No, I know him.
The guy just come here and walk like nothing, but he's a big legend there.
So I think for him, for Aziz, for Eid Aziz, I feel like he has a niche.
Yeah.
So if you're a house music lover, you know him.
Oh, yeah.
But he hasn't really made it into the mass market. The way you've made it to the mass market, the way Mwaki, the song Mwaki, has made it to the mass market. Even though you're not a house lover, you still like that song. So there's a couple of songs that have done that. Gora, one of them. So I think for him, he has not had that song that has kind of given him that breakthrough into the house market. But you're right,
he's a legend. He has 2 big tracks out there.
He's amazing.
He's like millions of streams on Spotify. I mean, if when you go to those hardcore house, they give him respect.
Oh yes, they do. 100%. And I've known him for a very long time, actually. Like when he first started, he used to do these romantic songs with his guitar. He used to play unplugged versions. I remember he actually performed at a wedding, and that's where I met him and I saw him and I was like, you're amazing. And then now he's gone into the house scene. So I feel like the house scene is where it's at.
I mean, because the house scenes right now, it's one of the easiest, because like East African sounds have not been explored internationally.
Absolutely.
And so that's why there's people are leaning, oh, what is that? How are they jumping on the track?
Yeah.
So there's even one track I saw was done with Drake, and they put some Maasai vocals on it.
Ooh. Yeah. I think I actually heard that.
Yeah.
And then just recently, Beyonce.
Yeah.
Did you hear the song by Beyonce where there was like a Kikuyu introduction?
No?
I'll play it for you after. It was amazing as well. So, you know, let's just talk more about this work that you're doing when it comes to just trying to empower younger people, trying to empower children. You are working with a couple of charities, but you've also mentioned that you have your own charity, your own organization. So maybe you can tell me more about it.
So Gua Africa, the charity that we founded, it works with families, individuals and communities to help them overcome the effect of war and poverty.
Right.
And in the past, it was able to put like 15,000 kids in school. So we had 2 schools that we refurbished in South Sudan that were able to do that. But we used also to put kids in school here in Kenya. So we pay school fees for them to go to either private school or a public school. And universities and colleges. And so we had some who even got scholarship to actually go and study abroad.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And when it comes to empowerment, you know, I feel like for you personally, what is the strongest skill that you could give someone? You're very big on education from what I can see, but like in terms of music, in terms of, you know, extracurricular, what do you think this younger generation really, really needs to focus on, especially those who are from underprivileged families and backgrounds?
What I can say for someone who's starting from scratch, your easiest way out is figure out, imagine something. You know, when I came to Kenya, I came with nothing.
Right.
All I had was a belief in my heart and how I want to be a part of a solution one day.
Absolutely.
And then imagining something that I want to create and bring into this world. And then by just doing that, believing it and figuring out how to get that done. So if right now, if you can protect your focus and your ability to concentrate, you know, then you'll be able to be in a much better place in wherever you are. So what I'll say is, what is it that you want to bring in this life? What is it you're imagining? What is that thought that coming to your head? What is that thing you want to create and to bring into this world? And do you believe it? And if you believe it, can you find out how it's supposed to be done? And I'll say, okay, the other thing you could do is develop a skill, find a skill that you can develop so that you can serve the world with best.
Emmanuel, let's talk about, you know, the fact that you've got such a beautiful, colorful life, right? When it comes to your personal life, I would like to know, are you married?
I'm not married, but I have 3 kids.
Lovely, beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. I'm more into Africa. A lot of time looking for a wife.
He's looking for a wife. Are you watching? If you're watching, if you're interested, please send in your applications for Emmanuel Jal to find his potential wife from Africa. Africa is a beautiful continent. You know, Kenya is home for him. So, ladies, I don't know why we're waiting on this. This is a golden opportunity. We cannot miss out on this. And Emmanuel, you know, when you come to Kenya, it's beautiful how you're always doing something to empower kids, to empower children. What is it that you're doing for the Kenyan child right now? You've mentioned that you have a lot of charities around the world, in Africa. Of course, you work with them, you collaborate with them, you have your own as well. But what work are you doing for Kenyan kids?
So for what I would say is, we may have not, in the past we would put Kenyan kids in school.
Okay.
But focus shifted recently, like investing in entrepreneurs. This year we invested in 20 youth, so we funded 20 youths.
It's amazing.
We gave them funding so they can start their own businesses.
Okay.
And then we went to Turkana with an organization here. I think they're called One Love or something.
Okay.
With Nyaminde and Alex.
Yes.
And we're able to collaborate to be able to fund 20 female entrepreneurs and give them things that they can use to develop their businesses.
Right.
So it's always about ideas. So now I'm shifting. There's education, yes, but I came to figure out, like, there is something very powerful about women. When I went to South Sudan, one lady asked me if I can give her sugar.
Okay.
And flour and oil. And when we calculated how much she's looking for was $20. And she told me, with this, I'm going to solve so many problems. I'll put my kids to school. And it was like a joke. she started selling mandazis. And when I visited, she doubled her business. And there was another lady who asked for $200, and she opened a huge shop. And so, and you'll find a guy who say, we'll give you a proposal, they want $5,000.
Yes.
So we realized, out of 100 women we funded,
yes,
the successful rate is like 60 to 80%. But if you funded like 20 men, you'll probably find only one. So the guy, the first thing, when he get the money, they go and party. Call his friends and see what's the lady that you want to show that he got money. Then come back later and say, look, can you add me more money in the business? I realized, like, to actually change our communities, women seem to know how to manage funds.
Absolutely. And I love that. You know, as we continue to just talk about the great work that you're doing, let's take a short musical break. And then when we're back, we're going to speak to one of the charities that you are affiliated with and the man that you just mentioned about and spoke about the great work that he's doing. We'd love to bring him on and just, you know, continue just inspiring others and just tell the world, tell Kenyans about the great work that he's doing. So DJ Koljax is going to be taking over and playing one of your songs as usual, just keeping us entertained. And we'll be back in a moment.
Koljax. In the mix. In the mix.
Conquer divide. Enslaved, exploit. It's Africa, Amani.
Let's just take over.
Go leaders, go say so.
Let's just take over.
Time has come, please show us. Prosperity and love give the dust. Pushing the air to the buna. Let's just take over.
Truth take over. Truth take over. Truth take over. Let truth take over. Truth take over. Truth take over. Yo.
Would you step up for our nation?
Mr. President.
Would you step up for education?
Mr. President.
Would you step up for the farmers, for the bullies in the army? Would you step up for the children, for the women and the veterans? It's Africa, Amani.
Let's just take over.
Who lead us go say so.
Let's just take over.
Time has come, please show us. Prosperity and love give the dust. Pushing the air to the buna. Let's just take over.
Let's just take over.
Nation for the people, by the people. United overcoming, overcoming that evil. Oh, I see Lady Yellow, sunrise come, rain follow, mighty state, something so, mashallah. Mashallah, mashallah, I see things flow. Beautiful people letting it go. Beautiful people letting it go. Letting it go. Mashallah, mashallah, I see things flow. Beautiful people letting it go. Beautiful people letting it go. Letting it go. It's Africa, Amani.
Let's just take over.
Who lead us go say so.
Let's just take over.
Time has come, please show us. Prosperity and love give the
And that's actually the song that got him his first recognition as an Afro house artist. It's called Kwar.
Yeah.
It's such a vibe. Even he was dancing. Hello, by the way. Let's introduce him. Just tell us more about yourself. Tell us what you do. He's already mentioned you a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe you can elaborate further.
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel of East African origin, Uganda to be precise.
Okay.
I run the Nexen group of companies. It is a healthcare, medical and healthcare staffing company. We do doctors, nurses, anything in between in hospitals across North America and Europe.
That's amazing.
As you said, we sort of leaders in our space, close to somewhere north of 40 million in turnover.
Right.
And so what we've done, using a portion of our profits, is set up a foundation whose focus is wildlife conservation, access to education, and then energy efficiency in the region. So we are doing a lot of work putting girls in school in Uganda, saving wildlife in Tanzania, Uganda as well, and obviously working with youth in the region to find gainful employment outside the region, those who need to, especially in the medical space.
That's beautiful. So you've mentioned Uganda, you've mentioned Tanzania. That's, well, 2 countries. What about Kenya? What happens to Kenya?
Oh, well, Kenya is something that we know very well. We haven't got there yet because, what's it called? It's like an onion. You take it one piece at a time.
Oh, different layers.
Yeah, exactly.
You're setting up... there's some partners that are setting up a branch here to be able to take Kenyan nurses out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of something great.
Yeah, on this trip I met a few potential partners who we may work with to basically get our international medical staffing recruitment into the Kenyan subspace.
We love that. We love that for you, and we wish you all the very best. And you know, you're doing great work, both of you actually, so congratulations on that. And we just hope that you continue to empower nurses, as you said, women, just trying to give them the opportunities that they deserve and just be able to work and make a living for themselves. So just empowering the African child. So well done. Well done for that. And thank you so much, Emmanuel, for coming on my show. Honestly, I had a blast. I've never been happier. Can you see how much I'm smiling?
I think you're a dancer or a
away with
DJ
him. We even made him dance. Quite an interesting experience it's been. And I'm really, really grateful for, you as a human being, as an artist, and the great work that you're doing. Keep shining, keep making Africa proud, and keep doing your thing. We hope to see you next year again. Back here with another hit song, maybe. Another house song.
We're working on another one, definitely.
Yeah? Okay, cool. That was Emmanuel Jald right here. We'll be doing this again next week, same time, same place. Cole Jax is ready with yet another hit. We'll play it, we'll dance a little bit. Emmanuel has to show us his moves, and then you'll take over with disco funk. So I'll see you next week. Good night, take care. Shiksha Arora signing out. Cole Jax, let's go.
My purpose and I'm insane.